Hey everyone, Honest Chewy here. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. And I finally sorted my camera out now, so I've got enough time to record this time. Because it was moving everything to the recycle bin, like my videos I was doing. And I realised that if I delete them out the recycle bin, it'll save the space. But what I didn't know is when I moved to the recycle bin, it was saving it to my phone again. So I was getting less time to record. So yeah, in other words, this phone's cursed. Um, so the reason I'm doing a video today, I'm a little bit snotty and groggy. I do apologise. I don't know what it is. I think it's this storm I've got coming. Um, Probably make me all groggy. Weather change always affect my allergies anyway. So I'm going to crack on with the video and let you know that I've just got through playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. And I don't know how to feel about it. I'll start off with no spoilers, and then I'll get into spoilers because I'll have to talk about spoilers, obviously, to explain why I actually was left feeling unsatisfied with the ending and the conclusion, so to speak. I know they're doing a third one, but this I didn't like the way it ended or started. Middle bit was okay, starting no. So let me just delve into it straight away. We all know what the story of the game is. The advertisement for it was the main thing everybody wants in this game, the main thing I wanted in the game, why I was hyped for it to start with. Also, a little bit skeptical as well going in, so I didn't overhype it. And obviously, it's Venom. Don't get me wrong, Black Suit Spider-Man's cool, but it never lasts long. You know what's going to happen. He's going to have a little bit of an evil moment, and he's going to rip it off, and then Venom comes. We know that every version of that black suit, as far as I'm aware, anyway. And this is going off the movies, the comics I read, that side of things. But right now, Venom wise, I've only really seen the old PS2 Spider-Man game. Do you remember that one where Doc Ock had carnage on him? That's the Venom I know. So that's what I'm basing the Venom off, and obviously Tom Hardy's Venom. We know it's not really Venom, but I lucky enough them movies because I think again they still do Venom right in a way because he is like this is my thing. He's not a villain, so to speak. He's not a hero, but he's not a villain. Um, so I'm going to leave it there with the Venom side of it because that's going to be spoiler at the end, which is what I'm going to delve into. Main reason why, So anyway, starts off Peter Parker and Miles. Obviously, the intro is unreal. If you watched a bit of it, it's mint. The intro is good. You fight Sandman, and it's mint. You proper cinematic. It literally looks like a movie, and it's really good. And you're playing it and you're fighting, and it's really good actiony. And then it cuts to obviously once you've beat Sandman, you see the cinematic we've seen in the trailers of Craven, and we know what happens when a guy kills the guy, then sees the thing, so goes to obviously New York to hunt down the villains, and then we cut to Peter, and guess what? There now, I don't mind slow walking scenes. I don't mind it as long as it's not forced slow walking scenes. For instance, you can have a slow walking scene, but there's always a run button. So they're going on about something, you run, they run scenario. There's a few games like that out there, I can't think off the top of my head, but where they'll be filling in the storyline for you, giving you a bit of a story. Now, I get it, but when you're playing a fast-paced game, when the combat happens, it's fast-paced. A good example of is God of War 2. When you think of God of War, it's fighting, it's fast-paced. Story's good, don't get me wrong, but it's about the gameplay and it's about how much you can cause havoc in a way. Spider-Man was the same, the first one. It really felt like an action game. There was a few slow walk bits, especially as Miles, but it made sense to me. It didn't feel, there was still stuff happening. It didn't take it away from the story, in my opinion. But with this game, and what I've seen with a lot of PlayStation games lately, is they've gone too far with the slow walking scenes. A lot of this Spider-Man, especially this one, God of War 2 as well, was a lot of slow walking, and that for me pulls me out of the game and makes me a bit bored of it. It's not that I don't care about the story. I love the stories. God of War Ragnarok, who doesn't like that story, Odin and them. Obviously a Trace. And Spider-Man, Venom. And obviously we know there's a certain someone well, we know by the end of the first game, this isn't a spoiler me saying this, because we know he's not dead. Harry's alive. He's not dead. Not a spoiler. We've seen it at the end of the first game. He was in the tube. He's fine. Obviously, we know he's not completely fine, but we'll get into that. So it starts off anyway, really fighting, and it's fast paced and it gets you into it. Now I know that's not going to be the whole game, but I want it to be majority of the game, and it wasn't. It was very slow paced to start with. I mean, I was 30% into the game, and not a sign of Venom, not even. This is before the fairground bit. None at all. I mean, there was something about push bikes and saving the planet, bees. Like, don't get me wrong, I like bees, and it's a cool, but it's Spider-Man. Like, you fight villains, you fight and take down thugs, friendly neighborhood, you action-packed game. Putting this stuff in, save the planet, but it's not even about that. It's the slow walking through the whole huge building. You're slow walking, and he's telling you everything, and you have to sit and watch these characters you don't even know and I care about, and I get mentioned throughout the whole main story, go on about how they're saving the planet and helping bees, or helping the ozone by making bikes that are electric bikes. And it's just, for me, that's not Spider-Man. Let's face it, that isn't Spider-Man. Since when in the cartoons do you see Peter Parker sit there and go, I think I'll just create an electric bike to help the environment, and I think I'll go and make some robot bees and help the bees and save the bees? No. Most of the time in the cartoons, he's either arguing with Mary Jane, which I think is quite funny, or he's whooping, I'm going to say this, he's whooping some ass. That is the cartoons. In the game, the PS1 game, PS2 game, I know it's totally different now, but it was PlayStation 1. God, this PlayStation 1 game is better than this new one. So that obviously made me dislike it. Then it goes to the middle bit, Craven. Right, this happens at the beginning. I'm just going to say, right, I will put a spoiler warning here. Could class it as a spoiler. It's not a mega spoiler. But I have to say it for you to understand why I really don't like this game and the direction it went. So I'm going to have to say, could be classed as a spoiler, but you see it coming a mile off, unfortunately. I was hoping they weren't going to do this, but they did it. Craven goes there to hunt down the villains. So from the last game, we were so close to this. It felt like Sinister Six. Obviously no Green Goblin, but we had Doc Ock, Electro, Scorpion, Hawk. I keep saying Hawkeye, but it's not Hawkeye. Falcon, there we go, and Rhino, and we had, obviously Martin Lee. Martin Lee was mint. He in this, we know he's in it from the beginning. He's a letdown in this. He's done so dirty in this, but anyhow, we'll stick with what I was saying there. These characters, overall, Spider-Man in general, cartoons included, games included, make Spider-Man, in my opinion. Rey Mysterio as well. Makes Spider-Man, Spider-Man, especially the main one, who isn't in the second one at all, which is so dumb not to be in it, is Wilson Fisk. Where is he? Where is this side of the repercussions for taking him down? This is what's happened now. We get it with the first game, that stuff came out, and obviously Aunt May lost, but that was Martin Lee. Kingpin or no Kingpin, he could have done that. What this second game fails to do is, there's a lot going on, and not once did I think he was actually right. Because he is, that's the whole Kingpin thing. He's right. Anyway, he's not in it, that's a gripe for me. But that put that aside, what I really didn't like is how they treat the main key villains. So, for instance, this is only the second game as well. You know, you're getting into it. You know, you're learning more about them. They kill him off. There we go. I've said it. They kill him off. Early on. Don't worry. It's not a mega spoiler, but they kill him off early on. But they kill him off so bad. Like, they're so weak in how they get killed off because they're overpowering. They're overpowering him, and he's just, hang on a minute, I've gone blank on his name once. Craven. I can't remember his name. He's so uninteresting in this game. I know a lot of people might argue with me and say, oh, I liked his character and blah. I was trying to, believe me, I was trying to roll with it and enjoy the game. But as soon as he killed Scorpion off, by pulling his stinger off, stabbing him with his own stinger, not to mention that he got stabbed with the stinger first, with that venom going in him. Now, you can argue and say it won't affect him, he's not, he's still only human. He's not, there's nothing it shows in the game, or does it show before, that he could withstand that amount of poison. Spiderman hallucinated big time every time he gets hit by Scorpion. Miles hallucinates big time. These are superheroes. These are empowered with, loads of venom, for instance, which to stay in the game. Just pulling it out and it not affecting him, and then breaking it off, which it showed is Scorpion's armor is nigh on. Well, it's bomb-proof. You can't blow it up. You can't get that tail off. And he just yanks it off with his bare hands. Like that is where I was like, and then the only reason I'm upset with this, they could have just stabbed Scorpion with it, had Scorpion look dead, but not be dead. No, he was dead. And I was disappointed. I was just like, wow. Like, you don't even get to fight him. And it's not like your black suit Spider-Man, you take him down and you pull his tail off a black suit, and then he dies maybe by Craven because of your actions. That would have been much better. No, it's just proper, no thought into, wait a minute, we've just showed you firing bombs at his suit and it doesn't do nothing. You're not going to be able to tear it, you can't rip it off. That's the whole thing of Scorpion. Anyhow, that was just a nitpick, you could say. I'm going to crack on this video because it's going on a bit. But the next two villains get killed off. Falcon and Electro. Off screen. You don't even see the deaths, you just see the suits. And you have a little recording of Craven going, this one was tricky to get off. How the hell do I know that? Thanks for showing us. And not to mention that Mary Jane finds them. You're playing this, this is the bit I'm on about, slow Mary Jane bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Mary Jane, I think she's cool. I think she's way underused in this game in superhero perspective. I'm not buying her being in the midst of things. Like, they do it a lot in the movies, but she's human. She's not a supervillain, and she's definitely not a superhero. Not saying she's a villain, she's not bad, but you know what I mean. She has no powers. And it sort of goes down the line of, you do that part as Mary Jane, and then obviously Peter has the black suit at that point. I'm not going to say the middle bit with Harry. That I found cool. I found it cool that Harry had the suit. That was mint. What I didn't like was the main bit, and I was laughing at the missus about this. There's a certain bit you get the suit. I'm skipping forward here. You have a fight with Craven, and he stabs you, right? Here, and you die. He dies. Peter dies. Venom brings him back. Bad move in my opinion. Why kill him off? In a way, you've killed him off. Yeah, Venom can bring him back, heal his wound, but you killed Peter off, like by just an enemy we don't care about. If it was Doc Ock, and he killed Peter. If it was Harry's dad, hell, if it was even Harry, who got carried away and Peter died because of that, and Harry wanted him back, so Venom got him back because Harry wants him back because he's attached to Harry. Would have made sense. Right now, it makes zero sense for Venom to go, I'll save this one. When, in all fairness, he's the reason Venom fails. you just leave him dead. Venom's not dumb. He's not dumb. Symbiotes aren't dumb, so to speak. Anyway, let's crack on with this. So it goes through that, gets brought back, and then there's a scene the knife spits out and all that stuff. And then obviously he goes down this bad route. Anyway, the lizards in it, stuff, blah blah. We'll skip all that for now. Let's get to the main bit that I don't like about the game as well. Even though it feels like I've said a bit about the slow pace and the boring pace. There's a main bit I want to get. Venom turns into a bloody tuxedo. Like, how is this a 10 out of 10 game? Like, I understand people like it, and I get where they're coming from and the positive bits. How is it 10 out of 10? Since when, in any form of symbiote, does it turn into clothing? Like, it never once. Like, it sounds daft, but this is where I knew they lost away with it. They didn't know. They weren't going down the law. They were just doing it because it was convenient. Easiest way they could have bloody done it is have Venom just break in a shop, have him go in and put the claws on. Would have showed him going to the dark side a little bit because he's stealing, and it would have showed him sort of being, Venom could be there still. I mean, look at the movie. Since when, say what you want about it, does Tom Hardy get Venom as a set of clothing? Since when does Eddie Brock in the cartoons get Venom as a jacket or some shoes? Never happens. Symbiotes don't do that. That is not a symbiote. Symbiote is inside you. The whole thing of a symbiote is it's as much as the movie plays on this, it is a parasite. And it'll come out as a symbiote, which I think a lot of things are doing wrong. The whole mask going back over the head thing. Symbiotes don't do that. Once they're on you and they're over you, they're in control of you. The whole point of a symbiote is finding a worthy host. Now, that was right. But it's a warrior, because the warriors, they're fighting the planet. Their planet is just chaos, And Venom and a few other symbiotes don't want to do what other symbiotes do, which is what I'm going to delve into here. So anyway, we do that. That's my gripe in the tuxedo. Now I'm going to get to the end here. And I'm going to get to the main bit, because the video's gone on a bit here. Of why as the old saying goes, a nail in a coffin for me. Where I was really rolling with it. I was really going with it. And I had to fight with the lizard. Sorry about this, my nose is playing up a bit. I had to fight with the lizard. And, I kind of enjoyed it. Still thought that was done wrong, but then saw the rock, and I was like, why is there a rock? And then, anyway, we go down that route. Craven, still boring. The only thing I have to say is his line is really cute. Underused, but cute as. And then, obviously, there was one thing I am going to gripe in this game. They kill off a lot of people. And they bring a certain person back from the first one, side character, just to kill him off. And it's Pigeon Guy. And they kill him off. And it's off screen. Again, off screen deaths are boring. Like, no one, you don't care, I didn't care he died because it felt shoehorned in. Anyhow, that's just a gripe on my side. Him dying was a bad idea. The whole idea of releasing the pigeons was a bit rubbish as well. But we'll roll with that. Speaking of dying in the game, so, speaking about Craven, he doesn't do much in it as on screen. You don't fight him too much. You fight him a few times, but not like not like a lot of times. And you sort of escape a lot when you're fighting him. Anyway, let's get to the main bit of the game, which is to gripe him out. We get to the bit where he fights Craven, and Craven starts fighting him, and then obviously the suit comes off, and Harry gets the suit, and then becomes Venom. So you play as Venom, and you go all the way through, and he says about healing the world together. So the whole thing of the game was healing the world, so he toys. And Venom's thought of healing the world is turning it into a symbiote world. Right? Now, when you see the symbiotes in the game, they're done wrong. They're not good. They don't, you can't beat them, and they'll just slither away off the host. If a symbiote's got you, it's got you. And if it goes off you, you're dead. We know this from the movie. We know this from the comics. Like, symbiotes don't just stick to you and then slide off you, sort of thing. Well, they do in certain aspects. I can roll with that. That's just a gripe from my side. It looked a bit rubbish too. They looked terrible. What was with the swirls in their faces? Like, look at the PlayStation 1, I keep saying go back to, but look at them symbiotes. Look at them symbiotes. They looked creepy and like a threat. When you look at the ones on the PlayStation, they just don't look threatening at all. They look laughable. They look really sort of, just nothing that I wanted, I got from this game. Even Venom, this wasn't Venom. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to sip tea. Damn, that's good. Oh, I made a good cuppa. It was getting cold, so I had to drink some. So I'm going to crack on with the main bit I didn't like about the game. Obviously, you can fathom the main bit that I didn't like, and it was Venom. Now, this is a spoiler bit I'm on about. I don't worry about too much about the spoiler, because obviously, you know my opinion on the game. Venom. You play as him for 10 minutes, if you're quick. Then it cuts to Spider-Man. And then, obviously, Venom's whole motivation is to take over the world and make it into a symbiote world. That's not Venom. That is not what Venom wants at all. Venom only wants to be here, so to speak, to find a worthy host to prove the other symbiotes wrong about him. That's Venom. The other symbiotes want to take over the world. No, well, not take over, consume. They want to consume the world. They don't want to own it. They don't want to run it. They want to consume it. It's what they do. It's what symbiote does. Riot. He wants to consume the world. Have it run with symbiotes. Riot does. Carnage wants just destruction, obviously in the name Carnage. Venom does not want that. He's outcast. He is against all them and constantly fights them. This does Venom so wrong. It does him as a full-on villain. So Venom is a full-on villain. Not like a villain, he might be doing the right thing, but, obviously a bit Venomy. No. Like I was buying him eating people, but there's one person in this game, right? Craven is done. Oh my god, he's so boring. Like, his death shit as well. Like, it's terrible. Like, he gets whooped, right? He gets beat up bad by Spider-Man. Black suit Spider-Man. Gets really beat bad. Hang on a minute, my nose is doing me right now. Damn it! Damn nose. Right, I'm back. So, he gets beat up bad, Craven. Gets thrown through a bloody wall and all this. Anyway. So it goes to him fighting Harry as Venom. And obviously he just doesn't stop. He's like, I want to worry death, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't buying that. And anyway, he gets his head out. And I didn't feel... I was just like, what a waste of a villain. He kills all these main characters off and then just dies. And it's just... Anyhow, let me get into the main bit, what I'm on about Venom here. So, we go to the end game here. Mary Jane, Miles, Peter want to steal the rock because Venom's using the rock to take over the world as symbiote world, and I hated it. And anyway, you're fighting Venom. Skipping a bit here. I wasn't buying a fact. The main thing I wasn't buying a fact of was Mary Jane going in with a load of symbiotes. Like, she would have got turned into one. She had a gun that had a little thing. Well, she did get turned into one. Anyway, she had a gun and it blasted sound at him. And there was, what I didn't get is, there was a big massive one. And it takes, when you're fighting it takes a while to get it down. Mary Jane did just a few shots and it's sort of dead, and it's just, I wasn't buying her being able to grab the rock and run off with a rock too, because that rock is covered in symbiote. Like, it would grab her arm and she'd be a symbiote. Like, there'd be no way of her pulling that off shooting. It wouldn't happen. A human cannot touch that rock. She would nigh on disintegrate, if anything. The only person who was smart enough to touch it I was buying was Dr. Connors, because he is smart enough to do it. But even he had it in a machine and Anyhow, that aside, you fight Venom, and guess what happens to Venom? Yeah, this is what I'm getting at. He grows bloody wings. Bat wings. And then he fights Peter, and he's like, oh, join us, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it was just, the fight went on forever as well. It's 4 health bars altogether, and it's way too long. And the final bit at the end is just terrible. Like, they actually kill Venom off in this. He disintegrates. You know, they're probably going to bring him back some bull way. But it's so not Venom. This is something that you root for dying. You root for him to die. That's not how you should feel about Venom. You shouldn't want to think, ooh, get in, he's dissolved, he's gone. Whew, you know, they're safe now. You want to feel, oh, thank God he was there. You know, he does his thing, he eats people, he's not a hero, but he's not a villain, he's not evil. Like I say, I'm going back to it here, but the other symbiotes, there's a load of symbiotes could have picked to be the main villain in this, and it should have been Venom bringing his other symbiote friends back on Friends, right? And then turning on him and being like, nah, we want to take over the world, we're not bothered about you. And you playing as Venom at the end of this game. Not even at the end, should have been midway, with Spider-Man, with Miles, aside of you, fighting symbiotes. Boom. That would have been mint, action-packed, none of this slow-walking bullshit. Action-packed, Spider-Man, you know, Green Goblin should have been in this one. I don't care about him being in the third one now. I wanted him in this one. That was the only thing that should have been at the beginning. Craven, I've never cared about him. Not even in the cartoons have I even once thought, God, he was an interesting character. The only thing I even like about Craven is his Brumman leopard jacket. And he didn't even have this in the game. He didn't even have his leopard jacket. Because I've always looked, he's had long blonde hair and a leopard jacket. I couldn't care about him in the cartoons, and I sure as hell don't care about him now. So my opinion on Spider-Man is very careful. You might love it, and I don't say it, you know, I'm not judging you for that-ish. But they can do much better. You know, they've got the material. I mean, imagine if they did this game the way, like, I'm on about. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I'm not just saying, oh, it's a bad game because it's slow. It was just, it felt so, oh, is that it? Star Wars, the last Star Wars I played was exactly the same. The ending felt, oh, is that it? Because it's like a filler. But this is way different. This has one of the key characters that everybody loves in it. Everybody wants, who enjoys Spider-Man. It's Venom. But I was worried that we were going to do him as a full-on villain. And you can. But do it right. Full-on villain. In theory, Venom wouldn't want Harry. The way they did Craven, Venom would want Craven to take down the other villains. Now that I would have rolled with. Craven getting Venom. Imagine if Craven had Venom. Then you'd buy it as a villain, wouldn't you? But what I was thinking is, Craven should have had a different symbiote on him. So it should have been, I'll quickly say how I think this story should have went quickly. Venom should have been with Harry, by all means go with Harry. Poor Eddie Rock, but we'll go with Harry. Have Peter have the black suit on because he gets stabbed by Craven. But have it where Harry's fighting Craven and he gets one up on him because he's got his own symbiote. Can be Riot, can be any of the other ones. And beats Harry in the suit. Then says, I need to get rid of Peter because he obviously is going to win. Miles is there, not put aside. No, did Miles so dirty in this game as well? Oh my God, they did Miles so dirty. Man, they've done him so dirty. He's side charactered. He doesn't feel like a vital part of the game. It feels like Harry could have had a suit, you know, apart from the Venom bit. But anyway, Mary Jane was, you know, more used than Miles. But Miles is my boy. He's my favourite one, Miles. He's like the most neighbourhoody one in the other one. In the last game, I loved it when Miles was in it. As much as the slow walking, I say. Anyway, I'm going on with it here. What would have been much better is if Craven had his own symbiote and the symbiote was feeding into his hunting instincts, which makes sense for symbiotes. And he was like, look, why not turn this world into hunting grounds in his head? And then the symbiote would be, you know, he'd be like, yeah, he'd be up for it. Imagine how much of a threat that would have been. How much you would have been like, oh shit, he's got the rock now. Oh, you know. And then if he did dissolve that riot off him, and Venom at his head, let's say at the end, let's just say that happens, it'd feel amazing. It'd feel mint instead of this bull sort of Harry's Venom, and he wants to take over the world and destroy everything. And oh god, that teeth. Right, I'm gonna end the video here before I burp more. Right, anyway, yeah. So this is a long video. Right, I will see you later. See you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and enjoy. Bye.